Welcome to We Are Soccer. We have on today Dean Jong, owner and founder of Greater Lansing Open Soccer. Dean, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. It was a nice Monday here in Michigan, so I can't complain with the sun out and warm weather we have now.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little about the Greater Lansing Open Soccer. So the first couple questions here. Just when did you begin the Greater Lansing Open Soccer and why was it started?
Uh, I started it back in 2019. And just to make it easier for everyone, we usually call it gloss for short. So less of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I grew up in the East Lansing area. So been playing the game my whole life. And over time was part of a pickup group and then I ended up taking over it. So just loved the game. And then when I got to the point where I realized, well, Lansing didn't really have a really solid a high level outdoor leagues, So I was just like, you know what, I have a good pickup group. Why don't we try putting together something and just trying to create a good environment for people to play really good soccer. And like honestly, selfishly, I just wanted to have fun playing soccer that at a level that I enjoyed. So and then it just kind of blew up from there, I contacted my friends and people I knew. People started putting in teams, and then now it's blown up into this big, massive organization.
Now when you say like there weren't many outdoor leagues, like I know you guys have indoor facilities there. It's very popular. I mean, here in Southeast Michigan, we have a lot of people play boarded 6v6, or they may play 7v7 indoors or 9v9. I mean, there's a lot of fields in the East Lansing area between Michigan State University and then, obviously you have East Lansing Soccer Complex and there's Holt, DeWitt. There's just a bunch of towns around there that are very close that where you have a lot of outdoor fields and parks. Was it just not something that someone wanted to run, or that a township wanted to run, or was it just kind of like, hey, everyone mostly just met up in at one place and you played? Like, what makes it so different from what you started in Gloss compared to what there was before?
Um, so there were historically several leagues, but then they would eventually fold after the organizer decided that they don't want to do it anymore. They want to move on to something else, move out of the area, or just realize it's a lot of work, just corralling a bunch of people. So then there was always this deficit for the adult soccer, and a lot of the stuff like those complexes you talked about, they're really more geared towards youth games and youth leagues, and so it ends up being that the adult leagues are don't really have anyone who wants to run those games. So that's where I stepped in. Is like, okay, for I saw that we're missing a place for adults like me, like yourself, or and older and whatnot, or younger, because we open our games up from 18 and up. Anyone that wants to get out there and play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When people sign up, is it online? Is it an app? Is it, how does everything work with you guys in in Gloss?
So that's actually really exciting. We just finished building a new app and a website that is proprietary to Gloss. We have a great tech team that has spent a lot of time working on it. Um, so our website is glosoccer.com, and you can see it's all shiny and pretty. We're still kicking the tires and everything and enjoying it. But and also there's some bugs. Obviously with something new. But again, the team is great. They're working on it and they're fixing a lot of stuff. The players have been awesome and really patient. All you got to do is just go to the website and there's a registration link, and then you just fill out the form, fill the information, and then pay the fees, and then it all gets sent to us, and then we take care of putting everyone on the team. I think right now we should be at 36 teams for this upcoming session. And that's, I mean, that's awesome, but just it's a lot of work on our end. But because we have a bunch of free agents, because we have like full teams that sign up, and that's awesome. But then we have people like, hey, I'm just new to the area. I want to play some soccer. And then they just sign up and like, all right. And then I usually find them a spot, and it usually goes well. House teams, but sometimes they're awesome, or sometimes like, I, yeah. But I think my track record can speak for itself. So,
So
Yes.
36 teams, huh? So is that 11v11, 9v9? What do they usually play?
We're doing 8v8 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually moved locations. We were traditionally at a park, and now we're at Hope Sports Complex over in Lansing.
So 36 teams, like is that the most adults you've had sign up so far for this ever? Or is it still growing?
So last year we hit 37, so we're just short of one. But usually this is actually our not our biggest session. Usually summertime we get a couple more teams because parents who have kids in sports right now, they're not playing, or students that are in college that come home for the summer and all that. So we should be getting traditionally always have a lot more teams in the second session.
Do you guys do indoor as well? Do you only do outdoor? Do you do indoor in the winter?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Year long. Because I never want to stop playing soccer, and neither do the players. So we were at the West Side Y this year. We usually end up playing futsal because there isn't actually a another turf facility that we can have access to. So we actually broke our record also. We had 19 teams for indoor for futsal games this past winter. And that was actually great. The facility treated us really well, and it was a lot of fun.
And then in terms of just like, I know affordability is a big thing for people. You get in an indoor facility. I play here in Southeast Michigan, and everyone's priced differently depending on who owns the facility. And you could pay over, a couple $100 or over $100 to pay, to play like, 6, 7 games, and you never know how competitive it is. Like, I guess compared to other places around you in the East Lansing area, is Gloss much more affordable than the other ones?
I would say it's comparable. We certainly provide very hands-on experience. I'm at all the games, and as the director and the founder, I
Mhm.
also have supervising crew um, that are working for me. So then there are a lot of eyes on every game, and we have refs for the more competitive games. We intentionally avoid having refs at the more social games because that's supposed to promote people to chill a little bit more. If they have to call their own foul, then they can maybe think twice about running into someone. Not everybody follows that, but it is what it is. Adults playing soccer and stuff. But yeah, so we have refs and we have supervising crew, and then just we always try to have people watching the games and people who are trained. I have 25 plus years of playing experience, 20 years of organizing. I was a youth coach for about 10 years too, and just taking all that experience to try to bring it to my games, and then trying to make sure everyone's having a good time.
So you told me you have a more competitive league, and then you have kind of like a pickup, like for fun, no referee. So you kind of offer multiple different things, probably compared to other competitors around you. That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. We have right now four, soon to be five different leagues, different levels. We have a lot of co-ed leagues. So ranging from like a beer league all the way down to like we call our premier co-ed league, where we have current former college players coming out, people who are serious about the game, and we
Mhm.
definitely have refs for those. And then we have like a middle tier where actually is our most popular, which is a good mix of newer players and older or more experienced players, and people just want to have a good time. And I always recommend people go out for drinks afterwards, especially if you got beats. Like, hey, no hard feelings. Let's have a round together, and then you can walk away as friends. That kind of thing. And then we also have right now Lansing's only men's open league. It's 18 and up, and that's definitely our most competitive. Definitely draws in a lot of really solid talent, and it's a lot of fun, but it's also very fast. And me, for someone pushing 40, I now just watch and cheer on people instead of trying to.
Is there anything else you just kind of like to add before we're done? We're done with the interview here.
The core of what we believe in Gloss. It's not just about. I mean, yes, we love the game and everything, but we're also trying to build a safe haven for people. I grew up as a minority kid, not couldn't really afford fees. I fell in love with the game. I play with my friends, and that's actually all my closest relationships. Um, came from playing soccer. I met all my best friends and all that, and my social group and everything like that. So we we're always welcoming anyone that wants to come out, whether they're new to the game, their experience, their background, whatever. Like, because I've witnessed so many times in my personal life and on the world stage, like the unifying force of soccer. You know, someone that I don't know who's just like can't even really speak English or the same language as me. They get on the field with me. They know how to pass the ball. They know how to make a run. We're instantly friends. We're instantly teammates. You know, we fight hard together, and then afterwards, even if we, you know, we can just smile and try to gesture towards each other, we're solid. You know, we got a bond. That's what I love seeing about this game, and I've seen communities built, friendships, you know, developed, and teams really come together. And then for both teams on the field and off the field, I hear about them going out and hanging out and everything. That's really what this is about: is bringing people together and developing a community. Like, and yes, it's centered around soccer, but at the end of the day, it's bringing people together who from any walk of life, and that's really what we're about. And that's partly why like we offer discounts to like students and teachers, first responders, and all that. And we want to make it accessible to people. Yes, it's so you know, there's certain things like ref fees are premium, but like we want people here to work with anyone who needs help. And I always tell people like I'd rather you having them play soccer, being there with us, being part of the community than having to sit out just because, you know, they're struggling with something.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to look at it. And, I know I enjoy the time I play with, I'm 34 and I play with people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and it's fun. And like you said, you go out after and you just kind of chat and just, make friends. And playing pickup sports is a great way, like you said, to interact with other people and develop friendships. So, and that's great that you're doing something like that in the Lansing area community, because it's a great soccer community. Not many people know that. I went to Michigan State myself, so obviously the men's and women's programs there are excellent soccer programs, and East Lansing High School has an excellent soccer program as many other awesome high school programs, and there's some great club soccer up there as well that not many people know about. So that's awesome that you've developed ways for everyone to play after they're done playing competitive soccer where you can still enjoy it, and then you can just go have fun, and while you're working a 9 to 5 job, you have something to do after the 9 to 5 job. So Dean, thank you for joining me on We Are Soccer. Is there any, just before go, what's the on the website obviously, but what's the best way if someone's interested? Is it to go to the website, or is it to reach out to you? Like, what's the best way if someone's interested and wants to learn more?
Yeah, on the website there has is a contact form that goes to my email, or it's just Dean DEAN at glosoccer.com. Um, I'm usually pretty prompt. This week is a little bit more hectic because I'm getting everything ready. So, but yeah, I do my best to try to get a hold of everyone. But yeah, that's the easiest way. Just reach out to me. The registrations are open. I usually don't close them actually because people come in late and we throw at everything because we want them to play. Um, I'm I can usually find a spot for people, you know, and even if it's putting on my team and I sit out and I give my minutes to someone else, I'm happy to do that.
Nice. Good. Well, Dean, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Thanks for having me. You too.